Welcome back to Calm AI, where we review one AI tool at a time. Today is all about Claude. If you have been hearing a lot about Claude and wondering where to start, this video is for you. We are going to walk through it calmly, so by the end, you will know what it does, how to get started, and how to make it part of your everyday writing and thinking in 2026. Claude is built by Anthropic, a company founded by former OpenAI researchers that focuses very deliberately on AI safety and reliability. Their mission is to build AI systems that are helpful, honest, and as safe as they can make them, and Claude is their flagship assistant. Claude was built as a general-purpose AI assistant that helps people think, write, and work through complex problems more safely and reliably. This is achieved by turning messy ideas, long documents, and open-ended questions into clear explanations, drafts, and plans, while following strong, helpful, honest, harmless safety principles, so it can be trusted in everyday tasks like writing, summarizing, learning, brainstorming, and decision-making support. We will start right at the beginning, creating your free account, having your very first conversation with Claude, and understanding what you are actually looking at on the screen. Then we will look at a few key features, how it fits alongside tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity, and how to get Claude on your phone so it is with you when ideas arrive. I have also put together a free one-page Claude quick reference guide that you can download and print. It has the key prompts and reminders from this video on a single page, so you do not have to memorize anything. The link is in the description below, completely free. Let's get started. Right, so here we are at Claude AI. The first thing you will notice is how clean this page is. You'll see a logo and a brief description explaining what Claude is. Beneath that, there's a box with sign-up options. Continue with Google, and below it, enter your email. Instead of cluttered menus or a long setup process, the interface keeps things simple so you can get started right away. I'm going to click the Enter Your Email button and enter my email address to get started. After this, I'll click the black Continue with Email button. A box will appear saying that a sign-in link has been sent to your email, and shortly afterward, another window will pop up with the message, Enter the verification code sent to your email. When you see this message, go back to the email you used and look for an email from Anthropic titled Secure Link to Log into Claude AI. Open the email and click the black button that says Sign in to Claude AI. You will be taken to the main Claude page. If you are presented with a verification code, copy the verification code, return to this page, paste it into the box provided, and then click the black Verify Email Address button. You will be taken to the same main Claude page. If the email does not appear after a minute or two, double-check your spam or promotions folder. If you still cannot find it, click the option to resend the code and try again with the same address. Your Claude account is now ready to use. Before we type anything, let me take a minute to show you around the screen. To your left, you will notice a sidebar with a few headings and a history of conversations below that if you have already started to use Claude. If this is your first time seeing this screen, the space under the headings will be empty. Starting from the top and moving downward, here is what each button does. The plus button labeled New Chat opens a fresh conversation with Claude. Every time you click this, you start with a clean slate. Your previous chat is saved in the history below, but Claude will not remember what you talked about in that earlier conversation unless you click on the saved conversation below and open it again. Search lets you find old conversations by typing in words or phrases you remember from them. This is helpful when you have been using Claude for a while and want to go back to something specific without scrolling through everything. Chats is where all your past conversations live. When you click on this, you will see a list of your saved chats. Click on any one of them to open it up and continue where you left off. Projects is a feature that lets you organize related chats into different subfolders. You can also add custom knowledge that Claude can reference. When you click on this, you can create a new project or open an existing one. Projects are useful when you are working on something that needs multiple conversations, like a research topic or a writing project, because Claude can pull from the information you have added to that project. Projects will be covered in more detail in a next video. Code opens Claude Code, a coding assistant that helps you write, debug, and understand programming. When you click on this, you will be taken to a specialized environment designed for software development tasks. Claude Code will also be covered in more detail in a follow-up video. Customize lets you adjust settings and preferences for how Claude works. When you click on this, you will see options to tailor your experience. At the very top left of your screen, you will see a small icon that collapses the sidebar. When you click on it, the sidebar slides away and gives you more room to see your conversation. To get the sidebar back, click the same icon again. Before we move to the middle chat box, look at the top right of your screen. You will see a ghost icon. When you click on it, you enter Incognito mode. The screen will change slightly. You will notice a black border around the edge and the words Incognito Chat in the upper left corner. In this mode, Claude will not save your conversation to your history. This is useful when you want to ask something private or just do not want the chat cluttering up your history. When you are done, click the X in the upper right corner to close the Incognito chat. Now let us move to the middle of the screen. This is the chat box, the main space where you talk to Claude and where Claude replies to you. Every time you send a message, your conversation builds up here in a simple back and forth. The plus sign sits in the bottom left corner of the chat box. When you click on it, you can attach a file document, a PDF, a CSV, or even a long piece of writing so Claude can read it and work with it directly. You can upload up to 20 files per chat, and each one can be up to 30 MB. Sonnet 4.6 is the name of the model you are currently using, and it appears near the bottom right of the chat area. When you click on it, a drop-down menu will appear with other model options. Here is what you will see. Haiku is the fastest model, best for quick responses and lighter tasks. It is less powerful, but very speedy. Sonnet is the balanced option for everyday use, writing, and coding. It gives you a good mix of speed and intelligence, and it is the easiest for beginners to stay on. Opus is the most advanced model, ideal for deep research, complex reasoning, and detailed work. It is slower and costs more if you are on a paid plan, but it is the most capable. For beginners, it is easiest to stay on Sonnet. It handles most tasks well without being too slow or too expensive. The speaker button sits next to the model name. When you click on it, you can switch to voice mode, which lets you speak to Claude and hear Claude's voice responses. You can talk to Claude hands-free or use push-to-talk mode if you are in a noisy environment. This button makes it easy to switch between typing and talking within the same conversation. Below the text box where you type, you will see 5 starter options. These are quick ways to begin a conversation with Claude. When you click on any of them, a set of prompt templates will appear on the screen. Here is what each one does. Write gives you templates for writing tasks like creating case studies, developing content calendars, and creating social media posts. The prompts change each time you open Claude, so you will always have fresh ideas. Learn offers prompts for learning something new, such as developing discussion prompts on a topic, creating feedback for students, or building a knowledge map. This category is broad and can be specific or general, depending on what you pick. Code helps you get started with coding tasks. You will see options like Vibe Code with Me, where Claude has a conversation with you about what you are making, or Help Me Turn a Screenshot into working code. Claude 4 has a strong reputation for coding, and these templates make it easier to jump in. Life Stuff covers personal tasks like organizing your living space, improving your sleep habits, or developing exercise routines. This mode asks for personal information, so only use it if you are comfortable sharing those details. Claude's Choice is a random selection of starting points for a conversation. You might see prompts like, explore ancient wisdom, consider innovation patterns, or explore memory techniques. This is less practical and more for when you are curious and want to explore something new. That's the full layout of the Claude AI interface: minimal, structured, and designed to inspire confidence. Now, let's have a real conversation with Claude so you can see how it works. I'm going to click in the text box at the bottom and type a question. What are the most effective ways to improve my writing? Now I'll click the send button, or I can just press enter. Notice what happens next. Claude doesn't give you a list of links to click through. Instead, it gives you a clear, direct answer written as if you are having a conversation with someone who knows about writing. It breaks things down into digestible pieces and explains them in plain language. If you want to know more about any point, you can ask a follow-up question right here in the same chat. Can you give me an example of how to do this with an email? Claude remembers everything we have discussed so far and builds on it. You're not starting from scratch each time. That's the power of a conversation-based AI tool. You might be wondering, how is Claude different from ChatGPT or Perplexity? That's a fair question, so let me give you a simple breakdown. Claude is best for writing, brainstorming, thinking through problems, and having in-depth conversations. It's your thinking partner. ChatGPT is very similar to Claude and is also excellent for writing and creative tasks. Both are powerful and both are free to start with. Perplexity is different. It's connected to the internet in real time, so when you ask about something happening in 2026, it knows about it. If you need current information with sources, use Perplexity. If you need to write something or think through something in depth, use Claude or ChatGPT. The best approach? Use all three. They each have a purpose, and using them together makes you smarter and more productive. I have a detailed comparison of Claude and Perplexity in another video in this playlist. I recommend watching that one next to understand how they work together. Let me show you a few features that make Claude particularly useful. First, you can upload documents. If you have a long email, a PDF, an article, or even a book chapter, you can paste it or upload it here. Then ask Claude questions about it. Summarize the key points, or find all the action items in this email. Claude reads the entire document and gives you a focused answer. No more digging through long texts yourself. Second, Claude can help with code. If you write any kind of programming, even if you've never done it before, Claude can explain what code does, help you fix errors, or write code from scratch based on what you describe. And third, Claude has what's called a projects feature, where you can organize related conversations and upload knowledge that Claude can reference. This is useful when you're working on something long-term, like writing a book or managing a project. Claude remembers what you've added to that project and can reference it across multiple conversations. So where might you actually use Claude in your real life? Let me show you 3 concrete examples. Example 1. Claude offers writing help. Let's say you need to write an email to a client about a project delay. You might say, I need to write an email explaining we're running 2 weeks behind schedule. Keep it professional, but friendly. Claude writes the email for you. You read it, tweak a word or two, and when you are happy with the layout, you can copy it into your email account and send it. What would normally take 15 minutes of staring at a blank screen takes 3 minutes. Example 2. Claude helps with planning and organization. Now let's say you want to plan a weekend trip to Portland. You might tell Claude, plan a 3-day weekend trip to Portland with a budget of $800. Include activities, hotel recommendations, and good restaurants. I like outdoor activities and coffee. Claude gives you a detailed itinerary with costs broken down, specific restaurant names, hiking trails, and coffee shops worth visiting. But here's where it gets different. You read through the suggestions and think, actually, I don't want to spend the whole trip hunting for coffee shops. I'd rather focus on wellness and outdoor experiences. So you tell Claude, actually skip the coffee shops. I'd prefer wellness activities instead. Yoga studios, nature walks, healthy cafes, that sort of thing. Can you redo that section? Claude doesn't just give you a new list. It listens to what you actually want. It replaces the coffee recommendations with a yoga class in a scenic location, suggests a farmer's market where you can pick up healthy snacks, recommends a wellness retreat center, and finds hiking trails that end at natural hot springs. It remembered your budget, remembered the rest of the itinerary, and adapted specifically to what you just said. That's the difference. It's not giving you generic suggestions and walking away. It's having a real conversation with you. You refine, it adapts, you ask follow-ups, and it keeps getting better. Instead of spending 2 hours researching and organizing information across multiple websites, you get a complete plan that actually matches what you want in minutes. Example 3. Claude helps you learn something new. You've been hearing a lot about AI and machine learning, and you want to actually understand how it works. Not the hype, but the real mechanics. So you ask Claude, explain how machine learning and AI training actually works. Use simple language and analogies. I'm not a programmer, but I want to understand the real concept. Claude might explain it like this. Imagine teaching a child to recognize dogs. You don't give them a rule book. Instead, you show them 100 pictures of dogs and say, this is a dog. Eventually, they learn the patterns, the shape of the ears, the fur, the way they move. When they see a new dog, they recognize it even though they've never seen that exact dog before. Machine learning works the same way. We show an AI thousands of examples, it finds patterns, and then it can apply those patterns to new situations. You read that and think, okay, that makes sense, but how does it actually learn? What's it doing under the hood? So you follow up. That makes sense for the basic idea. But how does the AI actually learn from those examples? What's happening in the machine? Claude doesn't just repeat the same explanation. It goes deeper but stays simple. The AI has millions of tiny dials. Think of them like knobs on a control panel. Each dial slightly changes how the AI responds. When you show it an example, it makes a guess, checks if it's right, and then adjusts all those dials a tiny bit to get closer to the right answer. After thousands of examples, those dials are tuned perfectly. That's the learning. Now you actually understand it, not the mathematics, but the concept. That's what Claude does as a learning partner. You're not just getting an answer, you're getting an explanation designed for your understanding level, and when you don't get it, Claude explains it from a different angle without talking down to you. That's the power of having a patient tutor available whenever you need one. The key theme across all 3 examples is this. Claude works best when you treat it like a thinking partner, not like a search engine. You're not asking it to fetch information. You're asking it to help you think through something, organize something, or create something. Before we move on to Claude on your phone, I want to leave you with one simple way to use Claude in your real life this week. At some point in the next few days, you will need to write something, an email, a short note to a client, a message to a colleague. Instead of staring at the blank screen, try this. Write a rough version the way you normally would, then paste it into Claude and say, please rewrite this so it is clearer and calmer, but still sounds like me. Keep it roughly the same length. Read what it produces, and if anything feels off, tell it. You can say, that sounds too formal, or this feels a bit too cheerful for this situation, and ask it to try again. Treat it like a patient writing partner. You keep control of the message. Claude just helps you find the words. I know some of you are also using ChatGPT, so let me address this directly. Claude and ChatGPT are actually very similar in what they do. Both are excellent for writing. Both can help you think through problems. Both are free to start with. The honest truth is that for most people, you could use either one and get great results. The main differences are in subtle things like tone, how they approach problems, and some specific features. You might also be wondering, how is Claude different from Perplexity? That's a fair question because all three these AIs are powerful and very popular. So let me give you a straightforward breakdown. We have already discussed how Claude and ChatGPT are very similar, both being excellent for writing, brainstorming, thinking through problems, and having detailed conversations. Perplexity is different in a key way. It's connected to the internet in real time. So when you ask about something happening in 2026, Perplexity automatically searches the web on every query with verifiable citations. ChatGPT's web search can be less consistent and can fall back to outdated data. Claude offers solid web search, but requires manual toggling. Here is a quick guide to choosing between these three tools for specific tasks. If you need to write an email, create a presentation, plan a project, or brainstorm ideas, use Claude or ChatGPT. If you need to understand something complex, use Claude. It's excellent at patient explanation. If you want to research something happening right now, today's news, current market data, recent research, use Perplexity. And here's the thing most people don't realize. You can use them together. Find research on Perplexity, then paste it into Claude and ask Claude to write something based on that research. Or brainstorm ideas in Claude, then use Perplexity to fact-check them. I don't see the tools as competitors, but rather teammates. You don't have to pick one. You can use all three and let each one do what it does best. That's the philosophy of Calm AI. One tool at a time, used intentionally, in combination with others when it makes sense. Watching the ChatGPT video when it becomes available, together with this one and Perplexity for Beginners, will give you a clear picture of how these tools can work side by side, one calm step at a time. Before we move on to Claude on your phone, I want to remind you about that free one-page Claude Quick Reference Guide. It has the key prompts and ideas we have covered so far. You can download it, print it, and keep it beside your computer for the first week or two while you get used to Claude. I also have another bonus for you. I've created another free one-page guide comparing all three these tools. Download it from this video's description. It has everything you need to choose the right tool for each task. The links for both free guides are in the description below. As I promised at the start of this video that I would show you how to get Claude on your phone, because Claude is not just something you use sitting at your desk. On your phone, Claude becomes a kind of pocket notebook and thinking partner. You can use it out on a walk, while you are waiting in a queue, or anytime an idea arrives and you do not want to lose it. If you are on an Android phone, open the Google Play Store, the app with the colored triangle icon. In the search bar at the top, type Claude AI. You should see it come up with a clean white and orange icon. Tap Install. It is completely free to download. Once it has installed, open the app and tap Sign In. Use the same account you used on the computer so all your previous conversations are there waiting for you. Everything syncs automatically. When you are in, the mobile interface is very similar to the computer version. You will see your conversation history and the text bar at the bottom. It is the same Claude, just in your pocket. If you are on an iPhone, open the App Store, the blue icon with the white letter A. Tap the search tab at the bottom and type Claude AI. You will see the same white and orange icon. Tap Get. Again, it is completely free to download. You may be asked to confirm with Face ID, your fingerprint, or your Apple ID password. That is completely normal. Once it finishes downloading, tap Open. Tap Sign In and choose the same method you used on the computer. Google if you signed up with Google, or email if you used an email address. All your previous conversations will be right there, synced between your computer and your phone. One small tip. If you find yourself reaching for Claude regularly on your phone, Move the app icon to your home screen so it is always one tap away. I keep mine next to my Notes app because for me, they work as a pair. Claude helps me figure out what I want to say, and my Notes app is where I save it. Give Claude a week on your phone, and I think you will find it becomes a natural part of how you work through ideas and get things written. That is Claude AI, on your computer and in your pocket. A writing and thinking tool that, in my view, deserves a permanent place in your everyday AI toolkit. Claude is also improving all the time. New features get added, the interface changes, and maybe the pricing might shift. When something important changes, I will come back and publish an updated video in this same writing folder, so you always have a fresh, simple walkthrough to refer to. Next week, I am covering Leonardo AI, the image generation tool I use to create everything visual for this channel, including the avatar you are watching right now. If you have ever wanted to create your own images using AI, that one is for you. If this video was useful, you are very welcome to like the video and subscribe. As mentioned before, I have created 2 free PDFs for you. One that summarizes how to get started with Claude and how it compares to ChatGPT. And the second free PDF comparing Claude, Perplexity, and ChatGPT. So you have everything you need to choose the right tool for each task. The links for the free guides are in the description below. That is Calm AI. 1 tool per week, explained slowly, no rushing. I will see you in the next one.